What's going on, everyone? Trust the Buzz here. If you're new to the channel, I make daily Charlotte Hornets content, so if that interests you, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. If you cannot tell by the thumbnail title of this video, the Charlotte Hornets do not deserve Victor Wembanyama, and I'm about to tell you why. I know it sucks. I mean, I've obviously, if they get Victor Wembanyama, I'm going to be excited. This is not a diss video to him. I actually want him on the team, but they don't deserve him. The Charlotte Hornets as an organization doesn't deserve him, not the players, the organization. And I'm going to explain why. So this video is 2 weeks old, not the video I'm making, but the video I'm talking about. Ryan Lucillo from the Ringer. Usually, let's back up real quick. Usually when people talk about the Hornets, they just specifically trash them the entire time and then move on. And that's part of the reason why I even made this channel, was because I got tired of hearing it. Now, did the Hornets deserve it? Of course. But it's just like, if you're supposed to be a basketball insider, or supposed to know basketball, you're supposed to, appreciate basketball. But teams like that, you're just like, oh, they suck, and then you move on. I get it. Not everybody wants to talk about it, but every team should have their, every fan should hear their team in the voice of the media. That's how I feel. It makes it more interesting. Even if your team sucks, if people are talking about your team a lot, it still makes it like, well, there's something. As opposed to if your team sucks, and then people, and I feel like it's really bad in basketball. So in football, of course, not every team gets talked about. There's 32 teams in football, but I do feel like there is an outlet for everyone to go to and be like, all right, this person talking about my team, and yet he's actually giving actual insight to the team. It matters, instead of just calling them trash. And so I say all that to say Ryan Lucillo, for the Ringer, did not do that. He did not just trash the Hornets and moved on. He actually had a brief conversation about what the Hornets got going on. But one thing he did say that kind of struck me was, he said the Charlotte Hornets don't deserve Wemby. And usually that upsets me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, usually it's like, oh, people are always trying to give us a short end of the stick. But he explained it why. He just explained that Wemby's supposed to be this generational talent, and the Charlotte Hornets are just known for holding players back. We've seen them hold LaMelo back when he first got here. I mean, up until this year, they were holding LaMelo back a lot of the time. James Borrego was pulling LaMelo a lot of the time. And then it took him forever to start, even though it was obvious he should have been the starter. They just wanted to prove he was the starter. It's just so many things. And I get that type of mentality. Teams should have it, but you have to have the team history. You have to have the team. You have to have the core to be able to do that. You can't be the Charlotte Hornets, be trash for the last 20 years. These guys you're drafting, they've never seen this team be that good, ever. The people you're drafting. So imagine going to and I'm not saying that it doesn't have a little bit of entitlement on the players, but still, imagine going to the Hornets and they're like, hey, you got to prove to us that you're good, and we drafted you for LaMelo or even third overall. It's like, no, you need me. That's why you drafted me third overall. Y'all have never been good. Let me play. And so that is where I feel like he made a point by saying the Charlotte Hornets don't deserve Wemby. Now, for the best landing spot as far as pairing Wemby with a player, pairing Victor Wembanyama with a player, him and LaMelo, it doesn't get that much better. You know what I mean? It does not get that much better having LaMelo as your side man. I say side man, but your partner in crime if you're Victor Wembanyama. It doesn't get any better. Now, as far as a team, as far as a coaching, tree, as far as just the organization, Charlotte Hornets are nowhere near the top. LaMelo is what makes them near the top as far as a team that you can see Wemby going to. But really, if you really want to see it, it's like the Spurs, the structure. Greg Popovich is not going to be there forever. He might not even be there after this year, but just that structure, that organization is built, the culture that organization is built, that would be a good place for him to go. Detroit is not, I wouldn't say for organizational reasons, but they do have a team. It's not the world's best team, but you got Jaden Ivey, you got Jalen, I would say Jalen McDermott, but you got Jalen Duren, you got Cade Cunningham, of course, you got Isaiah Stewart, you got Sadiq Bey as of right now. I mean, if you want to keep Bojan a little bit and then add Victor Wembanyama, that's a decent team. That team can go somewhere. You got the Orlando Magic, of course. They play hard all the time, and I mean they have Victor Wembanyama. They have Wendell Carter Jr. They have Mo Bamba, who's probably going to be gone. But you compare Victor Wembanyama and Wendell Carter, because Wendell Carter can stretch the floor as well, and then of course Victor Wembanyama can do it. So it's just, those are organizations, teams that are kind of already built, that Victor Wembanyama going into would be amazing, and it would help the team reach new heights. Charlotte Hornets aren't that as of right now. Right now, the only sure thing that we had that's like, this guy can go on and help us in the future is LaMelo Ball, and that's it. I mean, Mark Williams, and Victor Wembanyama and Mark Williams can go together. Mark Williams doesn't get enough consistent play time for me to say that, but even though I'm 100% leading that direction because he's been amazing. But so you throw him in there. And then Bryce McGowan's you see a lot from, but he still hasn't had that game. He looks good every game. Like, he has some like rookie mistakes and just some, things going here and there, but he's a rookie. But he still looks good. He just hasn't had that amazing thing. I feel like at least Mark Williams has had that amazing thing. He just doesn't play enough. So it's just that's just really it, as opposed to these other teams. Like I said, the Orlando Magic. You got Wendell Carter, Paolo Banchero. You got Franz Wagner. You got Markelle Fultz. You got Jalen Suggs. You got Cole Anthony. Now, while all those guys aren't superstar players, but we can agree that Paolo's pretty good. We can agree that Franz is pretty good. So you throw and then Wendell Carter and you throw Victor Wembanyama in that. Amazing. The Houston Rockets are one where roster-wise, you would say so. You would say that, it could be a better fit, but the way the players are acting, it's very Charlotte Hornets-ish. They just have more talent. So you would still put them, in my opinion, above the Charlotte Hornets just because of the fact that they do have guys who can ball. It's just a lot of, just attitude, I guess, going on in there. So the culture really holds them back. So they wouldn't be the highest on the list. But, if you were to say they would be a better landing spot than the Charlotte Hornets, then I completely understand. But, yeah, if you're a Charlotte Hornets fan, we have to just kind of understand when people say that, hey, that is not a good spot. They're not lying. It's really not a good spot. I would want Victor Wembanyama here. I think he would play very well here, especially next to LaMelo Ball. But I can understand why people don't want him to go here. We haven't done anything. Haven't done anything to show that, hey, we can help this guy be the best player he can be. Because like I said, they still holding back LaMelo in some ways. LaMelo also holds himself back. Bad 3-point, he's a bad 3-point shooter, but he takes bad shots. And then he fouls a lot. I wouldn't say he turned the ball over that much, but he's a little lackadaisical on defense. So he's not a perfect player either, but it's the best we've had, and they really haven't surrounded him with anything. Granted, Miles Bridges' situation, I get it. You really couldn't do anything about that. But still, it's just there's a lot to uncover here, and it's just much more than what's going on the floor. I've said plenty of times this year that this team is only going to be as good as the front office. You can do whatever you want to the floor, but I don't think it's really going to change until that front office makes a change in mentality or makes a change as in personnel. So I 100% get it. So, and I just appreciate Ryan Russillo just actually talking about the Charlotte Hornets instead of saying, yeah, they suck, and then moving on, because that's typically what people do. And it's very frustrating. Even in articles where they're like, I'm breaking down all 30 teams, the Charlotte Hornets have like three sentences, and one's LaMelo Ball's good, but... and they say some LaMelo Ball flaws, and then they say the rest of the team's trash, and then they say Michael Jordan needs to figure out what he's doing. That's literally it every time. So I appreciate him actually going in depth and just kind of breaking down. He broke down the actual players. I'll put the link down into the video below. It's like I said, it's 2 weeks old. I just haven't gotten around to recording because, like I said in one of my videos, I don't know what video is going to come out first, but I'm moving, so it's just been a lot of stuff going on. But I just feel like I really want to talk about it because I appreciate how he broke it down. And like I said, normally people say the Charlotte Hornets don't need to get Wemby, and then they move on to like the Orlando Magic or something. But he broke down why. He broke down that, there's still some guys on the team that aren't, in the best shape as far as just understanding where they fit in the league or understand where they fit on a team. So he's just like, what kind of situation is Victor Wembanyama even going to, So I completely get it. As my iPad or as my Mac makes some sound and then ruins the video. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Like I said, I'm 100% for Wemby. I want him on the Hornets, but I completely understand why people say it may not be the right spot, because it's not. As far as player personnel, I agree. It may be just because he has that point guard who can just do so many things with LaMelo Ball. That literally best pairing out of all the teams to me. But as far as just the whole team, the team as a whole, I just don't like, you bring in the roster and the organization and stuff. It's not the best fit. But I would 100% appreciate if they change my mind, because I really want Victor Wembanyama. Scoot Henderson too. I'll take either or. But anyway, thanks so much for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.